The Drive-Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel throughout social media. We will get you out here before the top of the hour to give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time to have our live free picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. So we'll beat the cappers and get right to the picks as we don't mess around here on the Drive-Thru. Let's say hello to Brian. Brian, what's going on?
Been a rough month of May, but my struggles in the first half of May is only going to lead to a red-hot finish to May. So I'm looking forward to the card today, and this weekend should be pretty awesome, definitely.
Very good. Let's say hello to Rod. Rod, what's going on?
Well, I can't complain. Another winning day yesterday. Definitely seeing the NHL playoffs very, very well. I've been smashing on the ice this season, so can't complain there. Moving up leaderboard, all the sports actually in plus over the last month. So, knocking some wood. Let's keep going in the right direction. Let's find some more winners here on this Friday card.
Let's do that as well. Finding some winners is Kevin Thomas, has been hot. Kevin, what's happening?
Tony, I can't complain either. And now we get another sport to gamble on in the WNBA. So let's get it going, right?
Let's get it going. Let's get to the games tonight, guys. Had another sport today, WNBA. A little later on the show, let's get to the game tonight. NBA playoffs here. It could be an elimination here. Celtics looking to stave it off here. Knicks hosting Celtics. We see the Knicks here favorite 2.5, total to 11.5. A quick look at the injury report. We know Tatum's out there for the year. Achua is questionable for Boston. We see the Knicks 2.5, total to 11.5. We get the block underway here with Brian.
For me in this game, I'm going to take the Boston Celtics here plus the points. You know, Tatum's out. Everybody knows that. So I think the Celtics are they're definitely one of the most deepest rosters in the NBA. And we saw what they did to them last game, 127-102. The Knicks, year after year, disappointment. I don't see why this year would be any different. I think Boston Celtics rise up today, get the outright win, but I'll take the points for safety because I think it's at least a one-possession affair.
Here with Brian. Next up, we move on over to Rod.
Yeah, for me in this matchup, I'm going to take the Boston Celtics here in the first half. Take them on the money line. You can grab a point, I think is where I see it, but I'll just grab the Celtics here on the money line. Hey, they've won 4 straight first halves on the road, and 27-18 ATS-wise on the first half this season. And rolling right along. It's just one of those things on the road, playing pretty good in that first half. All playoff games, 4-0 in that first half. So for me, give me Boston on the money line there in the first half. You get a little bit of a plus money on that bet there.
There we go with Rod. Next up, we move right on over to Kevin.
Yeah, Tony, I'm looking at the New York Nets, Mikal Bridges, and I'm looking at that total points, 14.5. I'm going to smash that over. This guy at home getting about 17 a game. I know on the road, misleading. And at last game, I think he maybe had like 5 or 6 points. So we're going to jump all over this 14.5. I think he has a big game here tonight.
There we go with Kevin. I'll tell you what I think here about these games here. You know, I like Boston here. I like the depth they have on this court. I know Tatum's out, but I just think there's enough bodies there, and I think these supporting cast members can get the job done. There's some quality here on this Celtics roster. Remember, Peyton Pritchard was a 6th man of the year there on that team, and we look here at this New York Knicks team minus 3.5 net rating in their home playoff games. They've lost. They've dropped to 2 games here against Detroit. New York has lost and failed to cover 3 of their 5 at home in the playoffs. We saw White step up with 22 points in that win there. Celtics have been shooting the ball well away from home here, 46%, 38% from 3. They're very, very capable of being competitive in this spot, so I like Boston here with plus the points. All right, let's continue here on the Drive-Thru as we turn our attention to Major League Baseball for today. So we'll get rolling on here with Major League. We have one game in the book. The Cubs get the victory 13-3. Wind blowing out. Total going over the total there. But White Sox got up to an early lead, but the Cubs stormed way back to get the win. Also, a game in progress features Cleveland and Cincinnati. It looks like the home team off to an early lead here, 5-2 bottom here of the middle of the 4th there between Cleveland and Cincinnati. All right, let's get going here with the Drive-Thru as we get ready for the next series of games. Oh, we got Jovan in. So let's backtrack here. Let's get Jovan's take here on this first game on the block here was Knicks and Celtics. What you got for us here, Jovan?
Yeah, I think this game's going to be a little bit, not to say sloppy to start, but, both teams are going to want it. I think we're going to see, at least the first 6 minutes of it being, some real hardcore defense. And if the referees let them play, then I could see nothing but an under in the first quarter. You'll know real early, how the game's going to be officiated, because they're either going to swallow the whistle. You know that both teams are going to go hard. You know that. But if, like last game, if they start calling if they start blowing the whistle, it's going to be, one of those high-scoring games, a procession to the free throw line, like last game. The Knicks shot 40 times from the charity stripe last game. I didn't think that would happen. The Celtics shot 26, I believe. But, they're not a physical team, so, they're more of a finesse team. Like, if the shots falling, then, they're not gonna go inside that much. And they did go inside when they had to. But isolating it to the first quarter, I like the under. What are you seeing it at? What, 52.5, 53, somewhere around there. Last game it started off slow, then it got kind of crazy at the end. Ended up being, I think both teams or one, it was like a 28 to 30 type of game, or 32 to 30 type of game in the end of the first quarter. So I think it's going to be lower scoring than that. I don't think it gets out of hand as far as scoring, late in that quarter. So I'm just going to stick to the under, try to get out and get some money.
That's some money there with Jovan. All right, let's continue here on the drive to us. We'll now turn our attention to Major League Baseball. 13 games remaining here on the board. So let's get to it for tonight's action. As we told you, Guardians and Reds are in action already. 5-2 bottom of the fourth, and we know that the White Sox got blown out here. 13-3 winner for the Cubs. That one does go over the total there, as we mentioned earlier. All right, let's get this block ready to roll here. Pirates and Phillies. We see the Phillies 240, total of 9. Got the Mets and Yankees Subway Series here. The Yankees $1.41, total of 9. And then we go Nats and O's. The Orioles here $1.21, total sits at 9. Tigers and Blue Jays. Tigers $1.17, road favorites, total 8.5. And we'll end the block with Braves and Red Sox. Red Sox $1.10, total of 8. We get the block underway here with Javon.
Yeah, looking at that Detroit and Toronto game, I could see nothing but a over in this one. Jack Flaherty he's let go of the rope a little bit. His last handful of starts. Boda Francis, he's known to give it up. And you can't trust the Blue Jays bullpen to save your life. So I could only back the over in this one. So that's where it's at on that one. As far as everything else, I actually think that that Braves Red Sox game has a shot at going over. Chris Sale hasn't looked his best this year. He put up an MVP season last season. Now he's back at his former home. I could see him giving up some runs. I could see, last year I think the start was in Atlanta. He pitched the gym. They walked away with a 5-0 win. I think this one might be a little different. Garrett Crochet, he's having a phenomenal season with the Red Sox. I don't think he's gotten rocked yet. Well, no, there was one game where he kind of let it go against I want to say the Twins. Didn't get beat up like that, but he gave up a few. They ended up losing that game, but I think Sale's gonna give it up some. I think the Red Sox bullpen has a chance of giving it up. I think it's gonna squeak over the total. I think it's gonna be like one of those 5-4 type of games, no matter how you slice it.
All right, there from Javon. All right, next up, we shall move right on over to Brian.
Yeah, it's a hard slot of games, but I think the best bet as far as free picks go would be Boston would be the Atlanta Braves on the money line with Chris Sale. Sale and the Braves had a rough start to the season, but over his last 5 starts, he's averaging 5 2/3 innings, 2.20 ERA, and Garrett Crochet definitely a stud. But I just think Boston coming off that Tiger series didn't look too good. I think the Braves are playing the better baseball, and I like Chris Sale here tonight on plus money.
Yeah, from Brian. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, for me in this early spot, I like the Pirates here plus the 1.5. You look what the Phillies do against left-handed pitching, and it hasn't been so good. 2-8 on the year, I believe, against to the run line against left-handed hitters. 3-7 straight up on that money line. So I'm going to take a shot here with the Pirates plus the 1.5. You can get that. I see a plus money, so I'll take that with Heaney on the mound. I think he can have a half-decent start. Suarez is kind of like he pitched a good one last time. He's due for an egg because it looks like we've seen where he pitches a good one and then he follows it up with an egg, and then he pitches a good one and he's due to follow it up with a bad outing here. And I think everybody has dogs on this Philadelphia team here in this one, so might even want to take a little bit of sprinkle on that money line on the Pirates here in this one tonight.
Here we go with Rod. Next up, we move right on over to Kevin.
Well, Tony, I'm glad I'm batting fourth in this lineup. These picks have been horrible. No,
Well,
I'm
that
just
little
kidding.
tiny bat of yours. Jesus. That little tiny bat
It's
of
a
yours,
full-size
Kevin.
bat. I
Right.
just got big arms. It makes
Yeah,
it look
right.
small.
Yeah, right.
Look, I know, Rod. I got to go with Ranger Suarez. I mean, that was only his second game back. He didn't pitch all season, no spring training, and then throw 7 innings. He had a great game. Now he's going against the Pittsburgh horrible Pirates. I'm going to lay the run line here. You got Bryson Stott out. That means we got Trey Turner leading off, smashes left-handers. And then you got Sosa at the bottom of the lineup. He's almost got a 400 batting average. I think Philly runs buckshot here. And then the dog that you want to take is the Nationals here, getting the plus money with Gore on the mound. I mean, Baltimore's been horrible, and Povich, God, he's going to throw him right down the middle of the plate. This watch team's going to be swinging away at the first 2 pitches, and they're going to make contact.
Right there from Kevin. Tell you what I think about these games here in this first block. I like the under here with Pittsburgh and Philly. I agree there with Kevin. Suarez looked like he found that form last time out here, and is facing another weak lineup here in the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pirates 210 on the road. Phillies hit just 251 against left-handed stars, but I do respect Heaney, what he's done so far, keeping that whip down. Pretty good strikeout rate. I'll go with him in that spot. Yeah, and that one give me the. I'm going to get the Mets at plus money. I'm going to take them here. They do hit lefties pretty well. Their bullpen has been sharp. Yankees bullpen got beat up a little bit in Sacramento. Nets falling a loss. They're 10-1 on the road, falling a loss this season. Look at the Mets in that spot. Like the over Tigers and Blue Jays. Flaherty, he's been roughed up on the road this season. When you look at Flaherty, he's allowed 14 runs in 21 road innings. And Francis at home allowed 14 runs in 19 of the third innings. So I like the over in that spot. And what else we go to? I think I'm going to leave it right there. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we get ready here for the next series of games. So let's get to it here from Major League Baseball. We got up next here.
By the way, this is Suarez's 3rd start of the season, not first. So he didn't just come flying out of spring training. This will be his 3rd start of the year.
Yeah,
his first outing, he went
He got
3.2
pounded.
innings and got rocked in that one.
Right.
So just to
Yeah,
set the
but
record
in his
straight
last
on
start, Rod, he looked pretty damn good. I watched that.
That
series.
was
He
his
hitting
his
spots.
first start
That's-
was his spring training.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
second start,
yeah, right.
7 innings.
We'll
That was
Correct.
a really good outing.
So the big telltale here is this one tonight. We'll see if he can come out and reproduce the what we seen last game.
I think the Pirates will help that out too.
Always,
Pirates
but
are pretty
we'll
much
see.
trash. That's really what we got there. All right, we got next up here. We got Rays and Marlins. Someone's fish is going to get fried here. Here we got the Rays here, $1.22 on the road, total 8.5. We got the Cardinals and Royals. We've got the Royals $1.48, total 8.5. Astros and Rangers $1.88, total of 8. Then we got Twins and Brewers here. Of course, the Twins dealing with some concussion issues with 2 players, though. But the Twins, $1.08, total 7.5. Close this block with Mariners at Padres. Padres, $1.60 now, total 8.5. We get the block underway here with Javon. You're on mute there, Javon. You're on mute.
Yeah, my apologies. I'm on St. Louis. I mean, they've been impressive on, these last, 11, 12 games. Um, what are they, 10-1 last 11 or 9-1 last 10, something like that. But regardless, I could only back them in this spot, plus money, hot team, going up against Cole Reagans, who, let's just call it what it is. He's not looking like an ace right now. You know, overall, he's above a 4 ERA. I don't like that. Palante is too. Don't get me wrong, but I believe he's coming off a decent performance, and I expect him to be middle of the road. Reagans, I don't like what I'm seeing. He's supposed to be a frontline starter. So I think the Cardinals could get to him. If they can't get to him, they're gonna get to that bullpen. So it could only be Cardinals for me at plus money. I mean, what are we gonna see out of Lance McCullers Jr. in his second start?
Yeah, he didn't look like Ranger, that's for sure.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. So look, he's a veteran. He has it in to to turn things around. But do you want to do that against what's going on the other side, which is Nate Eovaldi? I'm not sure. I could make a case for both, but and you don't with the Rangers, they don't score, so you don't want to take them on the run line. You know what I mean? So and you're not gonna get a good price at it on the first five. Sheesh. I mean, can Lance McCullers hold together so this could stay under? I don't know. I'm stuck on this one. I might have to just throw Texas on a parlay and at -1 or something, because you can't do it on a run line. They'll mess up your parlay like that. So reserve that. Make it a one of those parlay pieces. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm on Joe Ryan and Minnesota Twins. They just keep on winning. Defying odds. A lot of sharp bettors was on Baltimore yesterday, and look what that did to them. I'm not catching a falling knife. That's just the bottom line. So it has to be the Twins. I don't give a damn.
All right. We got there from Javon. Next up, we move on over to Brian.
I'm not going to get into that Twins and Brewers game, even though I'd love to, but I'm going to behave myself and do Tampa Bay and Miami. The Rays have owned the Marlins, winning 8 of the last 10. But, I like Max Meyer. He's been getting blown up over his last 3 starts, giving up 15 runs. Before that, he looked pretty solid. And Tampa Bay winning record on the road, but how long is that going to hold up? I like the plus money here with the Marlins at home. I think they take care of business.
There we go with Brian. All right, next up, we move on over to Rock.
Yeah, Max has been giving up 5. Well, he's good for another 5.
No.
And the Rays have been dominant over the Marlins over the years. So for me in this one, I'm going to look at one thing. I don't think Max is going to get over his 17.5 outs there in that one. If the Marlins win, they're going to have to count on a bullpen there in that one, because you look what his last time that he got over, he pitched 19 outs. Well, it was against the White Sox. Still gave up 5 runs. Before that, he was getting lit up. So give me the under 17.5 outs. I don't think Max is going deep into this one tonight.
There we go with
I don't like that spot, really. Not my favorite slot of games there tonight.
Not a favorite one for Rod. Next up, we move on over to Kevin.
Yeah, I agree with both these guys. This is the game to look at for the plus 110 with Max Meyer on the mound. I mean, it's kind of questionable. Why is it only plus 110 with Tampa Bay's road record and the minus 130 and how good they play against Miami? We know how bad Miami's bullpen is, so this total of 8.5, I might look over that. I might take Miami the first 5 just because it's just so shady what that line to me. So I would ride the Marlins on the first 5, but I would take the over 8.5. I think we're gonna have a high scoring game here.
Here we go with Kevin here. I'll tell you what I think here about these games here. I like Tampa Bay here in this spot. The Rays, they hit right-handers pretty well. Their bullpen's been good on the road. Rays against the NL, 5-1 on the road this season. The Marlins against good bullpen, 3-7 at home, losing 3 units. So I'll look at Tampa Bay in that spot. Also, I'll take St. Louis here at the price here. St. Louis has been hitting the ball pretty well. 8 homers over their past 6 games. This KC bats in their 27 night games, that's 217. They haven't hit very well in these at home night games. Cardinals have won 5 of 7 on the road, so that issue with them not winning on the road, well, they've changed that here of late. So I'll look at them in that spot. And what else have I got here? I think that's going to do it for me. We got the Padres in this spot. Yeah, we do have the Padres in this spot. So I want to go ahead and take the run line with the Padres. You're getting now plus 120. It's plus 125. I can deal with that. Padres, when they win, they usually cover the run line. They're 16-5, the run line at home this season, returning 13 units. Their bullpen has been sharp at home, ERA of 2. Padres over their past 6 hitting 307. Issues here with the Seattle hitting over the past 6 games, $190 with the bullpen 4.5. I'll look run line there with the Pods. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we close out baseball with these final 3 games here on the board. Next up, they will be Rockies and D-backs. You're going to see $4 in some place, $3.85 here, a total of 9. Angels and Dodgers, a freeway series. Dodgers $2.97 here, total 9.5. We close out here with the Bay Series up there with the Athletics at Giants. Giants $1.86, total of 7. Get the block underway with Javon.
Yeah, I really have no choice but take the Dodgers on the extendo clip. -3. They just, been laying heavy wood to opponents. You saw what they did last night. They could definitely do it to Jack Kachanowicz and this Angels bullpen who, they've been god awful at times. So I could only take the over. I could only take the Dodgers, and that's that's Dodgers -3. So that's how I'm gonna play it. I'll be looking at the homeless and the Giants under. They're gonna need a big start out of JP Sears, given the bullpen got taxed last night. So I expect him to go a little bit more than a little bit longer than what he's used to, and I think he does a good job. I think he has a strong start against the Giants. Likewise with Logan Webb, we all know about Logan Webb at home. That's when you want to back him. I can't do it at that price, and I'm not going to take it at -1.5. I would expect this being a 1-run game, so by default, it's at a good price taking the homeless on the run line +1.5. So it'll be the under. It'll be the A's at +1.5.
There you go. From Javon. Yeah, we did see the positional players strike out Ohtani. Maybe that's the key. There, let's go on. Next up, we move on over to Brian.
Yeah, it's not very often this early in the baseball season you'll see a -425 Arizona and a -315 Dodgers. Definitely not a hot diggity dog there, but for me, I agree with Javon. I like the homeless Athletics here plus the 1.5. JP Sears has been lights out, 5-0, 1.93 ERA, and Webb's been good on the other side. I just think this is a 1-run ball game. I'm going to take that plus 1.5 at -135.
There we go with Brian. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, for me in that one, you look what JP Sears has done this season. Well, teams whose hitters strike out more than 7 times a game, well, he's 6-0. So I'm going to go with JP Sears there, but I'm going to go the other way. I see the whole idea of the run line, but give me the extendo run line, the -1.5 at +250. I think the homeless could come in there, and they love playing on the road, so why not get a nice little 2+ run win there at over 2 times our money. Give me the Athletics -1.5 there in that matchup.
A little better facilities away from the shelter for the homeless. Next up, we move right on over to Kevin.
Yeah, I like that over in the Arizona game.
Roof open.
Say
by
what
the
you
way.
want.
The roof's open
Say
today
what you
and
want.
tomorrow.
Say what you want about the Rockies. The team's hitting the ball. They got those four first batters that are hitting it really good. But I'm looking at Marte for Arizona. I'm looking at his RBIs. You can get it at plus 115 for an RBI. I think he had 3 last night. When he catches fire, you want to ride that torch. So we're going to ride Marte for an RBI, and then we'll take the over in the same game.
Yeah, Marte was upgraded to probable there. And I just wanted to mention here is the roof situation there in Arizona. Open today, open tomorrow, closed on Sunday. We're looking at about 90-degree temperatures there in Arizona here. Just to get everybody up to date there. You always got to keep an eye on that roof, especially in the springtime. In the summer, it's always closed, but in spring they'll open the roof, and then you'll see spring training type of conditions, as Kevin showed you there. All right, I'll tell you what I think. I like the over there with Angels and Dodgers. Gowanitz is one of those guys who pitches the high contact. What, a 13% strikeout guy? Good luck against his Dodger lineup. If he is a pitcher who pitches to contact. And don't forget the Dodgers bullpen. They use a lot of their bullpen of late. And again, I keep mentioning this because this is important. Trainin, Phillips, Gradall, Phillips are all out there. Their 4 best arms. They're hurt. Maybe they're on the sideline. Maybe they're preserving them for the playoffs when they need them. I don't know. They're out. They don't need them. They keep winning without them. I would keep them out the whole season. Just bring them for the postseason run because those arms got you the title, believe it or not. I'll go over again. Now you look at the Dodgers bullpen over their past 6 games, ERA over 6. Who did we see the other night? Oh, we were seeing some of their scrubs yesterday. I mean, it's rough, but hey, they're winning. As long as they're outscoring team, that's all I really care about. You know, LA 5-0 the over against the AL this season. Angels 3-0 to the over, facing these home run hitting teams that average 1.25 home runs per game or greater. So I'll look here, Angels, Dodgers. I don't think they're pricing the issues with the Dodgers bullpen. I really don't. Looking at some of these totals, I'll take the homeless here at that big plus price. Giants at home against left-handed starters this year, 0-4 against lefty starters at home, losing 6.5 units. So I'll take the homeless in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through as we continue on. And next up, we will take a look here at the NHL playoffs. Just a single game tonight. We're getting that time of the year where we just got singles here from some of the postseason games. So we'll get to it right now. Next up, we got Maple Leafs and Panthers. We see the Panthers favorite 223. Total coming here at 5.5. We get this one underway here with Brian.
This is a tough one here as far as the total goes because I'd like to take the over because I could see the goalie get pulled, a bunch of late BS goals come in, but I'm going to go with the under. Just too many people riding on that over. It's a must-win spot here for Toronto. I think we see their best goaltending effort. It's so tempting to take the over, but I'm going to go with my opposite first instinct here and take the under. I think it's a 3-2 type of score.
There we go with Brian. And next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over in the first period. I think we see at least 2 goals in that first period. So give me the over 1.5 there in that first period. And I have to go opposite of that. I would take the over in this full game. With at least want any hope in anything at winning this game, they need to score some goals. And so far, we've seen, one in the last how many ever? I just don't see Wall all of a sudden stepping up and playing some solid defensive hockey. He has not been very good. And then if you got Matt Murray going to back him up, yikes. I'll take the over 5.5. I know everybody's on the over 5.5, as you said, even if the problem is that you might sneak an under if the Leafs decide to fold like they do. If the Panthers punch them in the mouth first, maybe get down 2-0, they might give up. Maybe see that effort, but I don't think so here. I think you see plenty of offense as we have all series long. Give me the over 5.5 in this one, and over in the first period 1.5.
There we go with Rod. Next up, we move right on over to Kevin.
Tony, anytime I'm fading Brian, I feel good about my chances, and I'm going to ride that over with Rod. I think Rod knows hockey better than anybody on this cast, so I agree with him. I think Toronto's got to be all in it, 100% offense, and give up defense because Florida's going to score. So give me that over.
There we go with Kevin. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. Is ready to switch on over to the WW debuts tonight. Catch these games on Ion. If you can find Ion, DirecTV has that on their station, so keep an eye on Ion for these games. We start off here with the Lynx and the Wings. And we see the Lynx here, 4 on the road, a total 163. Dream and the Mystics. Dream on the road, 8. Total sits here 156. And we close it out tonight as the Valkyries, the expansion team for WNBA, make their debut in San Francisco. They're going to play at the Warriors home court. The Sparks, horrible team last year, but dealt with some injuries. We'll see how they come out this year. Numbers come down. My goodness, I saw 7.5 this morning. It's come all the way down to 5. This is an expansion team. Valkyries getting the money. Wow, I never thought I'd see that in my lifetime. Sparks here, 5.5 on the road, total 163. We get this one underway here with Javon.
Yeah, Tony, don't like it. Don't like it when the world is on one side and and it keeps on falling like that. So you might want to tread lightly. But anyway, looking at the Dream and Mystics, you got these teams, gotta, turn over players, both of these squads. Brittany Griner, a couple other players, for the Dream. They're talking big about how they want to, play up-tempo basketball. And I think the Mystic are too. So you might want to look at the over, but for me, you got to show me. Brittany Griner shooting a bunch of threes, I can't see it. So my whole thing is you got to prove it to me. I'm taking the under. It's at 156. It went down. I understand that these teams want to switch up how they're playing, want to, go up and down the court, but you got to have the personnel for that. You want to shoot a bunch of threes like an NBA team. That's all well and good, but if you don't got the personnel to do it, then it's not going to work. And I'm just going to have to believe it when I see it. So I'll take the under just by default in that game. And there's a couple players out for Washington, I believe. So that could put a damper into scoring in that one. And I'm gonna take the over in this inaugural game for the Valkyrie. The Sparks of the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie have some veteran players on their group. So I don't think they'll be worse for wear in that one. And the way they want to play ball, I think they want to do a similar thing to what the Warriors have done, during their championship run, a whole lot of space, and that's going to make for easy shots for the Sparks. The Sparks have some talent on that squad as well. Yeah, they were an 8-win team last year, but their number 1 draft pick did go down during the season. I'm not saying that they would have won too many more games after that, but after that, it all collapsed for them. So with that said, I'm gonna take a shot to over.
Over there from Javon. Next up, we move right on over to Brian.
Just tiny little leans in this one. LA market always overbet, overpriced, and we've seen this line come down against an expansion team. I think the Valkyries here plus the points. I wouldn't be shocked if they won outright. I'll take the 5.5 and Atlanta, the Dream minus the points. Washington, I think again, they're going to be the worst team in the WNBA. I think Atlanta will be up and coming. I think it's a double-digit win here for Atlanta. I'm going to lay the points.
There with Brian. Next up, we move on to Rod.
Yeah, the Mystics without Shakira Austin and Aaliyah Edwards are out there too big, so that's huge for Washington there in that one. Without them there, it could definitely. This Dream knows how to play some defense with the players they got rolling. So I'm with Jovan. Give me the under in that matchup. I don't see a whole lot of score in there. Going to be very tough for this Washington team to score a whole bunch. I would actually lean to Washington plus the points as keep it close in what's probably a slow-paced, boring game in that one too. Because that thing was at 5, it's all the way up to like 8. You can find 8 spots. Which means it's been bet up. It's like looking at the Dallas game. It was at 8. If you got that one, well, congratulations, because that thing's long gone. And now you're looking at 4s in that one. Give me the over until we see Dallas and Paige Becker decide that they were able to play some defense. I think this Lynx team can run roughshod over them and do the bulk of the heavy lifting and get us over the total in that one. Give me the over in the Lynx and Dallas, because what I remember, and I have noted, Dallas defense non-existent. So we'll see if Paige Becker makes a difference there in that one tonight. But so far, non-existent.
You know, it was tough
We're
because
starting to see 3.5s out there.
we
on
saw
that one.
Caitlin Clark struggle early on because that fast turnaround. What do you see the fast turnaround for some of these rookies? It's going to be tough for them, right? About a month out of college into training camp.
Yeah, now it's a whole different pace. When you look at this game, Paige Becker's jumping in from the college game into this game. We've seen how Caitlin Clark, she got beat up and pushed around in those first few games as she arrived to the WNBA players. They welcome you. They definitely did not welcome you with open arms, going, "Hey, congratulations, welcome to the WNBA." It's kind of more like, "Oh, welcome to the WNBA." I'm one of those, and another one of those. So it ain't going to be a pretty welcome for Paige Becker here in this one. It's going to take her a few games to get her feet under herself to get a rolling for sure with Dallas. But I'm telling you, she will be good, but it will take a few games. Like it took Caitlin Clark. She didn't come flying out of the thing. She could shoot.
Struggle.
So,
I remember the struggles. What a
struggle.
bust. They were calling her a bust early on.
Right? Everyone was going to be a bust. So have faith. There's a reason that Paige Becker is like a minus 300 to win Rookie of the Year, because she will be that good. It's just going to take her a few games to get her feet under her and get going.
Got to lift the weights and drink the protein shakes. That's what I always said last year. They got to do that again this year. On over to Kevin.
Time we look at that Atlanta team. Both these coaches got fired last year. Both new coaches. Washington, though, they're going to give their coach a long leash because, like Javon pointed to, they have a boatload of injuries. And Sykes is their best player, probably was their best player last year, but she just doesn't finish games. She always tweaks her ankles in the middle of a game. So this could get out of hand, and they sit her. This line, I did jump on it at 5 earlier in the day. The 8 does kind of scare me because if Sykes plays a full game, she is that good of a player, especially with Atlanta, with their top 3 players and Griner being the newest, being added in there. I do like the under in this, too. I don't see a lot of points from Griner. I see her more rebounding and, from in out. I think we're going to see a lot of that and a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of missed shots because it's game 1, of the season. The Valkyries, they are going to be a big team on the court when they come out. They have 4 veterans that are 6'4" or taller. I don't see how they're going to cover this spread against an LA team that can spread you out and shoot the deep. Now, if LA's missing the threes, okay, but I just don't see it. I think LA covers the spread here for this one, and I would take any prop on Buckers under because she's welcome to the WNBA. I mean, she got interviewed and they asked her about what's your experience so far. She's like, these women are rough. Any WNBA player, if they played in the NBA, they'd foul out in the first period as bad because they get away with. They're allowed to be rough. I love that it's that much contact and pushing and shoving. But she's gonna get used to that real quick, especially against a veteran Minnesota team.
Absolutely there from Kevin. Just some things here. Baltimore and Washington will begin in a rain delay. Nationals and Orioles. O'Neal Cruz have been downgraded to doubtful for Pittsburgh. O'Neal Cruz doubtful for the Pirates tonight here. Late news coming over the wire right now for the Pirates. Might be without one of the best, their best there out, possibly out. Looks like they'll be out doubtful there. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. As we're ready now for our parlay peripheral segment, where our cappers can give out a parlay, then give out team player prop, game of the future. They make the call here in this segment. We get it underway here with Javon.
Yeah, I'll give up a couple parlays. Number 1, St. Louis Cardinals, Minnesota Twins. Number 2, WNBA 1, Sparks, Valkyrie over, match it up with the Dream and Mystics under, and then a 4-teamer for your late night, just in case you need to. Dodgers. It could be the run line. It could be money line. It could be extendo clip. that you make that choice. Match it up with the over, and then the homeless plus 1.5, and the homeless and Giants under 4-teamer.
You can add Pirates and Phillies to start in a rain delay game, pushed back to 7:45 Eastern time there. So a couple of rain delay games already off the book on the books. Let's go on over to Brian.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Athletics plus the 1.5, the Atlanta Braves on the money line, and Florida Toronto Maple Leafs under 5.5.
There from Brian. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, for me, player prop, we're gonna go with Judge over 2 hits. Take over 1.5 hits here today. He's just been smashing. He's got 2 hits or more in 4 of his last 5 starts. You get 2 times your money. I'll take that. Judge over 1.5 hits here tonight.
Yeah, from Rod. Next up, we move right on over to Kevin.
I'm going to start with Kyle Schwarber, Phillies, to get an RBI. You can probably take it as a home run. I think he's going to get one tonight. I'm going to take the under in the Atlanta Dream Washington game. And then I'm going to take the under in that hockey game just because Brian's on the over. Or I'm going to take the over.
I thought you already you already gave out the over. Now you're on the under.
Yeah,
Jesus
I just switched it. Pay attention. Come on.
There you go from Kevin. Tell you what I like. I like the under here. Pirates and Phillies. Looks like Cruz will be out. I like over Tigers and Blue Jays. And I like with the roof open, I like the Rockies D-backs to go over 9 with the roof open. There are 90-degree temperatures there in Arizona. It will be open today and tomorrow. I think Rod's guy Gallen goes tomorrow. So,
yep, definitely. We'll be taking it over there.
I know
for
Colorado
sure.
can't hit, but when you face Gallen, you're in that roof open. The ball's going to fly out of that stadium tomorrow. 90-degree temperatures there. Keep an eye on the springtime in Arizona because they do open the roof. They will shut them down when summer starts because it's brutally hot over there. All right, we got you through that segment. Now let's take a look, see what the Cappers have for sale over at Pick Dog Scrim. Head into a big weekend of action with no NBA tomorrow. We got NBA. We have NBA Sunday with that Game 7 between Thunder and the Denver Nuggets, and we also have a Game 6 tonight with the Celtics game. Game 7 in that series would be Monday night, just so you guys know. So head into a big weekend W as well as MLB. Big cards today and tomorrow and into Sunday. Let's see what Brian has for sale over at Pig Dogs Premium. I'll pull up the tab right now with Brian. Let's put together a pretty good year in the NBA. Brian, what you got for sale?
I'll tell you, Captain Obvious already on the Denver Nuggets for Sunday. But as far as I go, my Major League Baseball Titanium play 23 and 15, 61% winners. You get my MLB Titanium $25 at pickdogs.com or my NHL Strike Force play. $19 gets you that NHL selection ranked number 2 in profit this season. I got to catch up to Dana Lane, who pulled ahead of me, but tonight's the night.
Yeah, go ahead, get on board with Brian over at Pick Dogs Premium. Get signed up. You guys like that 3-day pass here on the weekend. Let's see what Kevin Thomas has got for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium. Kevin has been red hot last 3 days, approaching 1,500 units of profit, all documented.
Yeah, Tony, I got my 3-pack hardwood hitters as you get 2 WNBA and my NBA pick, or you can get each of them individually. And in MLB, I still got my money grab up. These are always plus money winners, so make sure to check that out as well. And partner me up with any other great handicappers, just not Brian, because we're going to be on the opposite of a couple of these, I think. So make sure to check that out as well.
On board there with Kevin Thomas over at Pick Dogs Premium. Let's take a look, see what Javon's got for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium. Javon, have been red hot last 7 days.
Yeah, last 8 days, 6 of them have been winning days, and the other 2 that weren't were push days. So no losing days in the last 8. That's a positive thing. I believe it's really the last 9 because that 9th day was a push day. But regardless, I got a 3-pack in the WNBA for opening night, and I have a 3-pack in MLB tonight as well. Today just happened to be a day where I got a fair share of Major League Baseball plays. I usually don't like to do that, but that's where it's at. And I have the side for the NBA game 6 between the Boston Celtics and the New York Knickerbockers. So yeah, jump on board. It's getting hot at the right time. That means 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, yearly, or matching with 1 or multitude of handicappers for the multi-cap promotional. Match all four of us up, or so to bang for your buck. Can't go wrong here at Sports Chat Place and Pick Dog. Just get it.
Let's get it, boy. Got on board with Javon over at Pick Dogs. Previously, great results over the last 7 days. You remember the promo code Pick at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. Or we'll see what Rod's got for sale over at Pick Dogs. Rod's been again impressive last 30 days. Over 3,900 years of profit, all documented.
Yeah, definitely looking to stay hot. Tonight I've got my MLB play of the day available. I got my NBA play of the day available. WNBA play of the day. All three of those plays. It's Friday, so you know what I got. It's Steak Friday. You get my 5 best bets rolling today. It includes my MLB triple. I'm top play in the NBA and the top play in the WNBA to kick off the year there as well. So definitely jump aboard. As Javon alluded to, can't go wrong with that. 2 for 1, 3 for 1, 4 for 1 capper promotional. Having a few cappers making you some money. Definitely not a bad thing here at Pick Dogs Sports Chat Place. Definitely take advantage. Head on over and jump aboard. Don't forget, pick at checkout, save 15% off. But jump aboard. You can see there's lots of us kicking the bookies' butt and putting some extra cash in your pocket. That's the way to go. For me, the 3-day pass is the best way to go here. It's a Friday, so you get Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I throw Monday in there. So that 3-day pass turns into a 4-day pass. Jump aboard. Let's have a big weekend.
Yeah, Martin with Rod over at Pick Dog. All these records are documented. Go to Rod's handicapper page, go down to Pick History. You'll see every play that is released. I've got a best bet on the board right now here from Major League Baseball. Also a 3-pack with 2 baseball, 1 NBA. I am the units leader this year in Major League Baseball over at Pick Dog. So get on board with me. Hey, might get that weekend pass, get all my baseball and NBA for this week, and match them up with your favorite capper with the multi-capper promotion. Get signed up. Remember the promo code Pick at checkout. We'll save you that 15% off. All right, guys, we're with you here Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time here on the Drive-Thru. So make sure you like, subscribe. Approaching 250,000 subscribers here on the Pick Dogs YouTube channel. To get that many people to hit the like button, you know there's great content here. So make sure you hit that like button. Join everyone else who's done that. Getting close to that. Of course, not just the live shows. We also have a lot of on-demand content over at Pick Dogs. We'll find out from the cappers what they contribute. Of course, Brian, you got a video series up there over on the Pick Dogs YouTube.
Yeah, make sure you check out my sharp betting contrarian predictions every day at the Pick Dogs YouTube channel, and I should be there both days, Saturday and Sunday this week.
Very good. And of course, Rod, pretty much a regular here on the Drive-Thru.
Yeah, definitely here on the Drive-Thru Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. You'll find me here getting you some winners. So definitely tune in to the Drive-Thru Monday to Friday.
Very good. Of course, Javon, we can catch you on the Drive-Thru. You always check in on the weekend shows. You also got a parlay video series.
Yeah, there's a parlay up tonight. Should be a hitter. Last 2 nights have been hitters, and the people in the comments they love it. So, it is what it is. Look to make it a heater. A heat wave that is. Make it 3 in a row tonight. Hopefully it pops off. And I'll be back here. Well, back here on Monday, but Saturday, Sunday morning. Per usual, the morning show. Catch you there.
Exactly. And of course, Kevin, you contributed over at Pick Dogs YouTube with video series as well. I think I saw WNBA.
I do, Tony. Picking a prop every night, and we're going to try either Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to make one of those shows. I'm going to shoot for tomorrow. Hang out with my good buddy Brian.
Very good. Very good. I got to get you guys.
Oh, and Javon will be there.
Yeah, Javon
will be there. I'm sorry.
There you go. You can referee.
Javon's always there. Javon's a permanent fixture there. I mean, that's a permanent fixture.
We'll have his referee jersey on for that one. The 2 hour plus with Kevin and Brian Rangos going at it there.
Yeah, I'll be gloating about my perfect sweep yesterday and kicking Kevin Thomas's ass up and down the board. But that's tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, that'll do it there for the drive.
I'll brag about those 2 breakfasts we just bet on that total in the hockey game. He's texting me wanting to bet me all. Brian wants to bet everybody.
He does.
All
he
right.
does.
Everyone will know. Everyone will know.
There you go. All right. That'll do it here for the Drive-Thru, guys. We're back again on Monday, so make sure you tune in. Anybody have anything to say in closing before we close it out? All right.
Sweep the board.
Sweep the board. Make it a winning